Hello everyone, welcome back once again to your favorite YouTube channel. Today we are going to analyze the weekly analysis of Indian market and the US stock market as well. This is the one day Nifty chart. As you see that we are standing with the strength beyond 22,500. So this is really very important to close the next day on Nifty 50 as about 22,500 itself, so that we can get 22,800 in the upcoming week. Definitely we got a strength, we got a good rally from the support of 21,800 somewhere around. Okay, and as we have discussed in the previous weekly video, we got 21,800 as a support zone and 22,800 as a resistance, and in between these 1,000 points in Nifty, we are likely to get the consolidation for the rest of the month, and we are right now witnessing the same levels. We are right now into that 1,000 points of gap, and breaking either side will decide the further course of action. This is what we have already advised to you all on the monthly video, and I will share the link in the description for the monthly May video itself. Before that, let's move on to the daily chart of Nifty. So here it is really very important to consistently close about 22,500 for the upcoming week. In the chart right now, as you can see, we got a double top formation at 22,800, and this will remain as a resistance, and this will act as a strong resistance for the upcoming week, where we will try to breach this 20,800 if we sustain about 20,500 itself. So it is really very important. If we go to the weekly chart is more or less the same. It's just provided that the high of weekly chart of 22,588 precisely needs to be close, so that we get a good rally from there, so that we end up landing ourselves into 22,800. Okay, so it is really very important to breach this high as well. So for the next week, we will have a cluster of resistance. I would say the immediate support will be 22,500, of course, but followed by 22,588 is the level where we would likely to consolidate again for a day or two, just a couple of days. And if we breach 22,500, of course we are going to land ourselves down. So the chances of happening that is really very less. So let's see what unfolds in the next week. But as of now, Nifty is standing strong beyond 22,500, which needs to sustain for the further rally. Let's go back to Nifty Bank, and in Nifty Bank, as you can see, a similar kind of a strength as equal to Nifty. And if we draw a channel here, so this is a range of the entire channel where Nifty, the Bank Nifty is trading. Okay, it is really very important to sustain this channel, and of course, since we are eyeing ourselves at the higher side, we are likely to get the target of 50,000 achieving by next month. This is very much clear. And on the daily chart, we also saw some sort of a reversal pattern here. So this is nothing but the hammer candle. Okay, and this hammer candle will be acting as this low of the hammer candle will be acting as a stop loss of the buyers who have bought the Bank Nifty here. So it is as simple as that. Nifty and Bank Nifty is going hand in hand. So Bank Nifty needs to cope up a little bit, so that we can get a wonderful rally with the support of Nifty Bank itself. So no signs of reversal yet, no signs of weakness here in the Bank Nifty. And the only thing which we are more worried about is the immediate resistance of 48,600. So if we draw a line here, you will get a clear picture of what I'm trying to say. So it's basically a cluster 48,400 to 48,650. So this is the resistance zone, and this is the proven resistance. Probably we are likely to again consolidate, or we are likely to again spend some time in this zone itself. It's a very small tepid zone, and we are also have a high chances to breach this level. So you don't have to worry about this zone at all. So for the rest of the days, basically we are likely to monitor this 40,400 to 40,650. If this gets breached, then of course we are likely to march ahead ourselves into 50,000 level. So this is all about Bank Nifty. And if we check the weekly chart again, so weekly chart strongly suggests that 48,650 itself is a good resistance. So of course for next week it is really very important to close above 48,650. Go back to 1 day chart of Nifty mid cap 100. So these are the levels. Let me draw you the channel first, because again here we are getting a channel formation and the entire trade has been done in that range itself. So here we are. After giving a new all-time high, okay, we are of course in the strength, and some day or the back we have already suggested that Nifty mid cap has a very nearby target. So if I draw this Fibo once again, I shall help you out to see that 52,650 is likely to achieve maybe by next week or by this month itself. In this case, in the entire course of time, whenever we got a rally, and if we see that it's 6 days basically, if we include Saturday, it's a 7th session where we rallied continuously without any sign of weakness. So I won't be surprised at all before reaching 52,650. There will be a minor sharp selling. Okay, and this is very much normal. I mean, if index itself rallies 7 days continuously in the green, then the downfall is expected, and that is very much normal. I won't say this is a downfall, I would say a small correction. Okay, this is a healthy correction, and the correction would last up to 51,250 or somewhere around 51,250 and 50,600. As simple as that. It cannot go more beyond those levels, because these will be acting as a support. So if I draw a line and if we head south, then we would say 51,280 and 50,600. This will be the level of support, where if we head ourselves into south, then we will get 50,600 as an ultimate support, where it should not breach to, of course, carry on with the target of 52,650 again. So the more or less again we have a strength, so nothing to worry. This support cluster will of course take care of itself. So the upcoming levels for 52,650 is very much likely to achieve by the following weeks and the end of the month probably. Okay, we are almost half down a month, so this can be happen in a very quick span of time. If we go for the weekly chart on Nifty mid cap index itself, so in weekly chart we have a wonderful bullish pattern. This is nothing but a bullish engulfing. Okay, we have the entire green candle covering the entire previous week red candle itself. So of course we are also negating this reversal pattern which we have made a caution note of ourselves. We see that Nifty mid cap has given us a good strength, and we are likely to of course achieve 52,650 as a further levels in the upcoming weeks, as I said. So nothing to worry in Nifty mid cap. And if we go for Nifty small cap 100, so here we are just almost done for the new all-time highs. Okay, so probably next week we might see a all-time high coming in Nifty small cap 100 itself. So if we draw a resistance line here, so 17,135 probably will be a good resistance to breach this level. It may take a week time, or probably if we get a good follow-up buying, then we shall also stand upon this for the weekly closing. So we need to check for the rest of the week how Nifty small cap 100 will behave, and on the lower side, if we get a small correction, then we are likely to sustain about 16,670. Okay, this will be the levels. So to analyze this in a nutshell, we may consolidate between 16,670 followed by on the higher side 17,135. This will be the zone. If we check a weekly candle once again, so yes, almost similar pattern than that of Nifty mid cap 100. We don't have a bullish engulfing, of course, but this is something a 100% recovery, almost 100% recovery from the downfall which we have observed from the last week itself. So nothing to worry again in the Nifty small cap 100. So the entire Indian market in a nutshell is strong. We are standing strong. It's just that we have to breach the important levels in the Nifty mid cap, small cap, of course, and in Nifty 50 itself, followed by the Nifty Bank as well. So those levels I have already discussed. If you want to go and recap this video, you can. We'll move on to the US market right now. So in the US market, if we check Dow Jones, and the 1 day chart of Dow Jones looks strong. Okay, we have a new all-time highs coming in Dow Jones itself. And this was surprising because what we were expected is we would take a resistance somewhere around 39,280, but it doesn't happen. Rather, we got a good breakout. We got a consolidation, of course, but then after that we again got a wonderful rally of 2 or 3 days where we touched the new all-time highs, and the closing in the Dow Jones itself marked 40,000 itself. So this is for the first time, and US market looks strong. This indicates first thing in the macro economy, and also the news which we have been expecting that there would be a rate cut soon. So probably this month, this coming quarter would be a chance where we would see a rate cut possible from the US Fed government. Okay, this is again, I'm assuming this would be a possible thing because since the CPI inflation data turns out to be very easy, so there shouldn't be a problem at all to take a rate cut into a consideration. Also followed by the general elections in November itself in the US itself. So as of now, if we take the support level, immediate support will be somewhere around 39,890. Okay, which is nothing, which is roughly a 39,900 level. We will, if we sustain about this level, then of course we will march, and if we don't sustain, then we will bring ourselves into 39,650 again, which is again nothing to worry. We breached the double top formation in Dow Jones index. Okay, and we are standing strong on that particular level, on that support right now. Okay, so I don't see any issue in the US market. Even though if fall occurs, then it can extend max to max, it can extend up to 39,400, nothing beyond that. I don't think so we would have a breakdown from here at all. Of course, a small correction, but that would be a healthy sign to get the further targets. Okay, and the US market, if we check the further targets possible for the upcoming month and for the follow-up weeks itself. So if we draw Fibo here, so what we have is 41,300 on card for next couple of months. So we are likely to see 41,300 in Dow Jones Industrial Index. Okay, which is really very good sign. And followed by the Indian market, the way Indian market has been behaving, we see that it's strength across all the markets in the world itself right now. The two major markets are going good, so I'm not expecting any sort of a knee-jerk reaction from the election results in the Indian market. So that's fine. I mean, any market just correct. I mean, whether it adjusts itself for the upcoming event or whether it corrects with respect to the upcoming event. It all depends on how the market and how the result outcomes are more favorable to the market. So that's it for Dow Jones. Dow Jones is most likely to achieve 41,300 for the upcoming few weeks. No, not few weeks, I would say few months. Within a month or two, we may see this target coming up. Okay. Now, if you go to the Nasdaq, and here is the thing: the most major beneficiary of the rate cut will be the IT stocks itself. Okay, and the chart itself suggests that we may likely to get the rate cut for the upcoming quarter. This is very much sure. And the way we close in Nasdaq in the weekly chart, it shows strength, an enormous strength, I would say. Okay, we might get a small correction down the line of 16,000, but that shouldn't be a problem at all. Okay, this is not going to be a reversal of a kind of a thing. It's a healthy correction, and we are likely to march up. Okay, so if we check the target for Nasdaq, so we have a wonderful upside pending for 20,000 across, almost 20,000 around, is expecting by next 2 or 3 months down the line. So I'm quite bullish with the Nasdaq Composite Index in US, and also I would advise to take more participation in Nifty IT Index itself, because then both will work hand in hand. Most of the Indian IT companies also have the exposure in the US, and the rate cut, of course, they are directly beneficial when it turns to a rate cut or a rate hike. It directly impacts the USD INR comparison. So in that case, where a dollar gets weak and the Indian rupee gets stronger, so that will actually benefit the Indian stock market not only the stock market but also the Indian IT stocks as well. So when we go to the S&P 500, so here are the levels. Again, we are closing around all-time highs, I would say, and the weekly chart looks really very good. Just like Dow Jones and Nasdaq, what we see here is a new upside target coming up for 5650. So 5650 is very much expected by end of the month, probably. If not by end of the month, by the mid of the next month, we would see this coming. All the three indices in the US market itself look stronger, and also Nifty, if we close about 22,500, if we sustain and if we breach 22,800 again, then we would also likely to see a good amount of sharp rally in our Indian indices itself. So market in a nutshell for the upcoming weeks and the months looks good, looks stronger, and it is advised to fund yourself accordingly, where you get a benefit of the indexes itself, like investing the amount into index funds, or getting an exposure of the US stocks is also looks beneficial for the upcoming couple of months. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you everyone for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe this channel. If you like this video, please click on like button, and if you subscribe this channel, you will get all the updates which have been shared weekly or monthly, or whatever knowledge base which I will be sharing in the upcoming months. So please do take care of yourself, and wish you a happy weekend. Thanks everyone.